So I've been thinking a lot about this upcoming new moon Virgo eclipse, solar eclipse, happening next week. Normally I would sit down and make a video, but I'm driving and I don't want to lose this stream of thought right now because it's important. Of course, I'm going to go deeper, wider, bigger, and more specific into this on my YouTube videos, so make sure you're subscribed to that. But for now, I just want to talk about the importance of this eclipse coming up. That's going to be on September 21st, 2025. So with new moons, we typically want to plant seeds for a new start. We can start a 4-week cycle, 6-week cycle, and 2.5-year cycle in our life. And new moons are great times for new routines, new jobs, new beginnings, new relationships, new friendships, new health goals, like whatever you. But this one is with the south node of the moon. When things are conjunct the south node, we have to release something, we have to let it go. So what I'm calling this one is the beginning of the ending. Now, a lot of these themes could have started for you in January 2025 of this year when the nodes switched to Pisces and Virgo. The nodes typically stay in a set of signs for 18 months. So for many of us, we're working through our Pisces Virgo stuff in our chart. But this is a bigger theme for all of us. So again, on the south node, it's about excreting, it's about letting go, it's about releasing, untangling. And oftentimes these things are patterns that we are repeating from the past, whether early life or even prior lifetimes, if you believe in that. But the sun and the moon are involved here. So the sun can represent people of authority or in leadership positions, but can also represent your vitality in your day-to-day life. And the moon represents usually the people, like a collective group of people, or your emotional health and your well-being or your home life. So we could see people on the greater scale, on the collective scale, like stepping down from power, leadership stepping down from power after this south node eclipse happens. We can also see this in our communities, people losing power, stepping down from power, stepping back from a break of responsibilities. So this could be affecting you in your personal life too, especially if there's something that you need to release or let go of because it's impacting your vitality, it's impacting your emotional and your physical health, as well as your body. Eclipses are also fated karmic times in our life. This is when we're meeting the past and the future simultaneously, and there is a massive tension between the past coming up and repeating itself and us trying to create our future and go in the direction of our future. Now, what happens is we can only create the future from our experiences of the past. We project what we think the future is going to be. We project onto the future from our past experiences and what we've been through. That's including the memory that you have now and also unconscious memory, right? Prior things left that are stored from prior lives, history, childhood, and so forth. The interesting thing about this eclipse is the ruler of this eclipse, because it's in Virgo, is Mercury. Mercury deals with the left side of our brain, the logical side of our brain, and the immediate consciousness, like the immediate memory, like what you could remember what you did yesterday, but what you try to remember what you did 2 weeks ago, that's a little bit harder, right? Can you remember exactly moment for moment what you did 2 weeks ago? It's probably very difficult. We store that kind of memory in the subconscious part of our brain, okay? That would be Uranian, what we would call Uranian memory. So there's a planet Uranus in the sky, which is also a part of the mix under this eclipse. So here we're dealing with immediate consciousness and memory of things that have happened that we can recall over like the last week or a couple of days or so forth. But we're also dealing with unconscious memory patterns coming up from early life conditioning and also other lifetimes. The immediate experience that many of you will likely have under this eclipse, right, over the next couple of weeks, and honestly over the next 6 months, what you'll be dealing with, because that's what eclipses do, they last like a 6-month storyline, is going to be around remembering stuff, trying to negotiate in your mind what is the logical direction you should go in. What is the logical choice? And a lot of you guys, because the ruler of this eclipse will be in Libra, you will be contemplating, you will be weighing out, you will be balancing the pros and cons, yes, the no, should I not? You'll be conversating, trying to come up with some type of balance or harmony in order to let go of things, right? and also start something new. But because this eclipse is on the south node, we have to literally let go of something to start a new beginning. So that's why I'm calling this the beginning of the end, because this is the beginning story of something that you're letting go, closing out over the next 6 months, that's going to change the trajectory of your life going forward. There is so much other stuff that I'm going to go deep on my YouTube channel, because Saturn is opposite this eclipse in Pisces. So we're wrapping up 30-year cycles, but we're also wrapping up completion points in our life that we're not going to return to. Things are not going to look the same come next year. While many of us may be wrestling choices that we have to make right now around ending, how that's going to look like, what decisions we're going to make, and what direction what is most harmonious and most pleasurable when it comes to the logical making sense of what kind of ending we're making and how this is going to look. The other massive impact behind this is the Uranian part, which is the long-term pattern making that is linked to this set of eclipse. And Uranus is in Gemini now for the next 8 years in the sky. It will go back into Taurus in like a month or for a few months, where we have to wrap up Taurus themes, but then it goes into Gemini for 8 years. So Gemini often brings up choices in our life, right? Having to do things twice, or themes around repeating something. But Uranus wants to break the pattern. It is a revolutionary planet. It is one that brings change, a fracture, if you will, into something. When something breaks, literally like when porcelain breaks or a bone breaks, it has to heal again, right? But it doesn't go back the same way it was before. So we're making choices, okay? We're making choices that are related to old circumstances, but we have to make new choices around these themes in our life. My advice to you would be they should be in a way that breaks a pattern that isn't aligned with your life or your future or the way that you want to go anymore. Let's not project the future, what we think it should look like, because of our past experiences. We don't want to repeat negative past experiences or negative past behaviors. We want to break the mold under this, right? This is why this is the beginning of the end, so that next year we can step into our full alignment and our full power. Now, this is even deeper, but on another level, Gemini deals with the mythology of Castor and Pollux. And a quick summary here: it is a long mythological story about two brothers, and one dies because one was immortal and one was mortal. The immortal brother makes a deal with Zeus, asks to share his immortality with his brother. Zeus agrees to let this happen, but the brothers can never be in the same place at the same time. So one's in heaven at times and one is at hell at times. They're always in polar opposite places, but at least they know that they are living and can be together. So this very much can be a storyline in your life where there's a situation that has existed at one point but cannot exist together at the same time anymore, right? Not in the same place. So we have a choice. We have an ability to hold on to the memory, have the recognition for what did this story that's playing out in your life, what did that mean, what did that hold for you at one point. But again, this is the beginning of the end, and we're here now having to make new choices, having to let go of old patterns, old behaviors that, affect our health, affect our mentality, affect the cleanliness in our life, so that we can step into a place in our life that feels more loving, more compassionate, and at the end of the day, more whole for you. I hope that helped. If you want an astrology reading, send me a DM.